Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another week and another episode of the Five Marks Pro Wrestling Podcast. As always, I am Mark Numero Uno, Mr. Emil Allen Casey, joined by how many of us? Three other of our five. Gentlemen, how are you this evening?
Good, good,
When
good.
was the last time anyone actually ever used the numbers?
The last
The-
time Emmett hosted.
which was 2 years ago. So I was actually listening to an episode the other day that I did intro, so that was fresh in the mind. Because the other times you've asked me to intro since all the way back in the early days, I've usually just been like, podcast Mark 5, yes, us.
How is everybody doing today?
All right,
Absolutely
all right.
fantastic.
After our busy day yesterday, Martin.
Oh,
Busy day
my
yesterday.
brain has been absolutely fried today.
Yeah, we
Fried.
had a long day.
Can't
So-
believe you wore the same clothes for 2 weeks in a row.
I know.
I know.
14
It's not even
days.
2 weeks because so for
3
context,
weeks. No, but
yeah, for context, obviously this is coming out on the Saturday before ScrapperMania, so like this 2 days time. We have an interview with Sammy D coming out, and as I kind of I spoiled it by asking for questions, but we spoke to Mark Haskins literally back to back. So we Sammy D at like 5:30, and that went on for
we finished at about 6:45, I think it
about
was.
15 minutes, something like that, before we got in a call with Haskins. And yeah, to whoever, we're going to have to do a giveaway for whoever can watch the entire episode in one sitting. That
Yeah,
entire
it's a long episode.
It's a long one for you guys, but yeah, it looks like
Hmm.
we're wearing the same clothes fucking weeks later.
2 weeks. Yeah. But I
Is it
will
the
say the
longest-
Mark Haskins episode is one of the best episodes we've done to date, I think. And the Sammy
it-
D one, you're going to want to
Hmm.
check it out. You're definitely going to want to check it out.
Is it the longest interview that's ever happened on the podcast than the
No.
Mark Haskins ones?
No,
Okay.
still no.
No. Who
Okay.
fucking God? Who owns that
Sam?
again? Is
Sam, I think it was.
Sam was like two
that-
and a half hours or something like that.
Yeah,
maybe.
we have the longest episode, I think,
Yeah.
with our anniversary one.
It's like 3 hours long.
Yeah, it was a long one. Yeah,
We should have done a giveaway for that one specifically.
yeah.
Like a secret word at the end, but not told anybody, and we announced the giveaway there at the end.
But anyway, Emmett, what are we talking about today?
So, on this week's episode of the podcast, we are talking about all things ScrapperMania. We're coming up to the big milestone anniversary show for OTT. It's going to be happening on August 10th, National Stadium. Absolutely jammers card. All three shows, to be fair, in all three shows that are coming up that weekend look absolutely phenomenal. Got Wolverhampton on Friday the 9th, Dublin on the 10th, and then Sunday in the Europa in Belfast, as well as that. And we've already got some crackers for the shows around for the two shows before and after Dublin and everything like that. But the Dublin card itself is looking absolutely phenomenal. I know you guys are going to be there. I'm unfortunately missing it as I have tickets for something else that day that I can't get out of, and it is killing me. Reasons for we'll get into over the course of the episode and everything like this. But gentlemen, before we start off and everything like this, which of the three shows would you be the most excited for on paper?
I think the Dublin show, really. And I think that's just because of, like, and Martin talks about this a lot, where, like, stories, do you know that kind of way? Stories is one of your
Yeah.
biggest things in wrestling. And I think if you look at the Dublin show, especially with the big story that's going on, and
Mhm.
this isn't a story, this is a story that's pretty much been going on for over the last year, 2 years, if you want. But in reality, it's a story that's been going on for the last 10 years. Do you know that kind of way? And we're getting to that moment now of that kind of that kind of final moment. Even though it's not going to be the final moment, it's going to go past ScrapperMania, and it's going to continue until both men retire. But yeah, like excuse me, as you said, like every show has huge matches, but I just think the Dublin show just stands out more than anything.
Yeah, totally agree. I think obviously with the story behind what's happening, obviously it looks as if that's going to kick things off, and it's also going to be the match that's going to end the show as well, I would imagine too, which is going to be fantastic. And the atmosphere is from start to finish. I mean, if it's like any other ScrapperMania from before that, it's going to be another banger of a ScrapperMania, and I cannot wait to watch and be a part of that night.
Look, each card is specifically different from the other. Wolverhampton is specifically UK crowd, here's some of the best matches we can put together for all of you. Here's one example. We'll give you Trevor Lee, formerly known as Cameron Grimes. Crawley versus Danhausen, which we'll talk about as well today. You've got kind of, what's the right word to kind of give it? Variety matches and kind of like make everyone happy matches. Dublin then is heavy story involved with everything that's going on in OTT, because that's where most people are when they're watching OTT, is actually at all the shows going on, to the complex, to the KFRC, and wherever else they go. And then Belfast, as always, is their kind of
it's like the Raw after Mania.
Yeah. But the thing is, this Belfast show, I'm actually the card there as well is fucking amazing, and like I'd be super invested just because of who's on the card, because it's people. One, I can't wait to see on a ScrapperMania card one day, and then one person who I feel like should be on the ScrapperMania card, but we'll get into that later on. But like, each show has its own different purpose.
For sure. I like I know we're going to focus on the Dublin show for this episode and everything like that, but to be quite honest with you, I know, Martin, you've kind of talked about this and stuff in recent days leading up to this weekend and everything, but like, I was very tempted, considering the fact that I'm going to miss Dublin, to do the commute to Belfast, because the Belfast card, what's been announced so far, is absolutely phenomenal. Like, I got a rematch between Trent, a man like Doris, and everything like this. I have a feeling, I have an inkling that like we're seeing the last days of Trent Seven in OTT, and I have a feeling that that is going to be his last OTT match. I'm very, very tempted to go up to Belfast, but we'll have to wait and see a little bit closer too. So
we'll push and shove. Like, come on, Carol. Come on.
I don't.
But like, as you said, we're gonna mainly focus on, like, we're gonna run through the cards, but what we're gonna talk the most is gonna be the Dublin card. But it's gonna be a fun ScrapperMania. You've like Danhausen coming over. You got Nick Nemeth coming over. The return of LJ Cleary, which unfortunately this year ScrapperMania there won't be the Emmett picture.
I know, that is killing me. That is absolutely killing me. I want to do that again. Have that attrition. Have that be the new streak.
Every ScrapperMania just from Emmett.
I'll get it at Hard Knocks. I'll go up to him and I'll ask him for that photo. We'll get it then.
Get the soy boy version. Like, what's kind of the feel going into this ScrapperMania? Because obviously I know last year for myself and Emma was the first, and we were buzzing. What's the general feel going into this one?
The one thing for me more than anything is, and I think they put up a story earlier on saying that there's 100 tickets left to sell. So this could possibly be the first National Stadium sellout since COVID, which is huge. Do you know that kind of way? And I was at the first stadium show back after COVID. Martin, you were at the 8-year anniversary, or the 8-year anniversary, and then we were all at Scrapper and so on and so forth. So like, to see where it's come since COVID to where we are now, and the sellouts and the stories and everything that we're getting is just incredible. Like, it's very good to see that Irish wrestling is back on the boom again. Like,
Mr. Gold.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, excitement. There's tension in the air, I believe, as well, with say obviously with some of the card as well, especially like, obviously with the draw situation, which we will get into as well, which we will know. But as I say, but definitely more excitement than anything. I mean, you can tell like the build up to this one this year has been second to none. When it comes to what matches that we've had in the lead up to this, and again, I just can't wait to see how it all unfolds.
It's going to be a fun time. By the way, there will be the Emmett meet and greet at ScrapperMania. So if anybody wants to be there, he'll be just outside the stadium. 100% he's going to be there. Like, he's not going to miss it.
It is honestly killing me, and I'm not just saying that for the sake of because we're on the air and everything like this. This card is absolutely phenomenal.
I
And
will
it's like
say he has said it in the group chat many times.
yeah. And it's such a killer because like I have to explain this for the sake of context. Like the first ever American heavy metal bands here at Dungle are playing Ireland for the first and last time because they're retiring in January. And it's just I had the ticket for that first. And like the worst part about this, and I'm gonna say this before we go on about the matches and stuff, I have a feeling in my heart of hearts that Nick Nemeth and LJ Cleary is going to be the Irish match of the year for this year. Like I have a real feeling that's gonna knock the ball, like they're gonna knock the ball out of the park. And the other thing about it too, and I'm really hoping this happens, and I'm in equal parts gonna cry if it happens. If Nick walks out in the National Stadium with the TNA World Title around his waist, I would actually cry myself to sleep hearing that night. Like, I'm such a
What if
TNA mark at the
Speedball
moment.
walks out with the X Division title?
Mm.
Oh, I
Ian's
think I'd
Roddy
just
X.
go, yeah, I'd just shoot myself there and then in the middle of Limerick. I just, I've had enough.
I love TNA. Emmett,
Oh.
no.
Oh no, but it is a sickener. But and that's kind of I never considered going up to Belfast for any of these shows before because it's such a long commute. But the fact I missed it over that gig, I'm kind of like, will I do it this time round? But wait and see. I might be too sore the next day to actually do it, but I don't know. But like that, the Dublin show looks class, and I will say as well, like we've always had like a nice kind of thing when we go up to Dublin for these shows, where it's like, we grab food and we're in the venue a little bit early and we're kind of mingling and all this type of stuff. And there's like a different vibe in the National Stadium compared to like the different, like I won't say arenas, but different venues in Ireland and stuff like that that OTT kind of run. Like the
Like,
National Stadium and everything like this, like the time that we were all went together and everything, like there was an immediate thing when you walked through the door, like to the actual like seating area and stuff, near the ring and everything. Like you could feel that buzz. There was a big buzz around it and stuff. That year didn't even sell out, but the fact now this probably will sell out on the day with people on the door. Like people are just going to be in Dublin doing nothing, and someone's going to be like, "Oh, Dolph Ziggler is wrestling here," and it's like 20 quid for a sitting ticket. Like, do you know what I mean? So it will sell out. Like, and it's really cool to see that for OTT because prior to COVID, they were selling out like that being the Elite show sold out in like a day, didn't it? From what I remember people saying, like, do you know what I mean? So the fact that that kind of build up and everything is there now. Whatever about the vibe when we were in the National Stadium all together that time, I'd imagine it's going to be a lot different when you're near full capacity for it. Like, do you know what I mean?
and that was just for us being there. That's why it was such a vibe there. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
everyone knew going to be there together, so it was a case of like, that's how it was. It was electric.
Yep.
What I like about this show as well is that, like, we have Nick Levitt and we have Dan Overton, two big names,
Mm.
and obviously and Speedball as well, and obviously the prospect of bringing over the TNA titles as well, defending them at ScrapperMania. But it's mainly the guys that we see week in, week out, or month in, month out. And the fact that they're getting the opportunity to sell out ScrapperMania is unbelievable.
100%.
Following is there now. That following is there with like casual fans and stuff. And I think the likes of RCW and Hard Knocks have played a part in that, like, do you know what I mean? Because I know, like, for us prior to, well, I can only really speak for myself and Kevin in this regard, but we, before ever going to an OTT show, it was, foot in the door with Hard Knocks and see what that type of show is like. And then, those type of shows, everything like this, once you actually see what a wrestling event is like in Ireland, then people are obviously going to be like, well, OTT are running the biggest shows in Ireland and stuff. And then you experience that, and it's a way different thing altogether. But the fact that all these promotions are able to run, doing all great numbers and everything like that, is absolutely fantastic. Like, do you know what I mean? And it is, I'm not going to ramble about it, but like Irish wrestling is in so much of a different spot now than it was 2 years ago when we started this podcast. Because when we started the podcast, everything was in recovery mode post COVID. Whereas now
Yeah.
we're over 24 months removed from the ends of the lockdowns and all this type of stuff and everything. This. And like, it's cool to see because, back then, if you had said, oh, it's National Stadium selling out and everything like this, probably would be like, don't see it happening. Whereas now, like, do you know what I mean? I would guarantee that it will sell out on the day and everything because there will be casual fans who'll just see the poster or they'll be swung a text and they're like, those seating tickets are quite cheap. They're like €20. Like, do you know what I mean? No one is going to say no to spending €20 for 3 hours of wrestling, like with another 2,200 people.
Exactly.
We are 15 minutes in, and this is
Yeah, I was going to say, come on, I want to talk about the shows. I want to get through the matches.
we're 15 minutes in, and this will be a very heavy OTT episode. But, Carmo, there is another show coming up in a month's time that we have to talk about.
Actually, a month today as we're recording.
A month today as we're recording.
September 1st. It rings a bell, all right, doesn't it?
It's got to be in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, Hard Knocks Undeniable, September 1st, Dublin Warehouse, Limerick City. For the undisputed Hard Knocks World Championship, we have Sammy D going up against the returning LJ Cleary. As we said at the start of this episode, we do have a little bit of an interview with Sammy. I say a little bit, it's like over an hour long. With Sammy D coming out next week, where we talk about these matches and we talk about what's going on with him and Steve Savage at the moment. So be sure to check that out. But get your tickets. And I am here today to announce our winner for the 2 tickets to Hard Knocks Undeniable, September 1st, Dolan's Warehouse, Limerick City. Thanks to everybody who entered. We have a wheel here ready to go to announce our winner. Let's do it. Good luck to everybody that's involved, and thanks to everybody as well for entering the competition. We appreciate you, and we hope that you have a good time at Hard Knocks if you do win the tickets. And if you don't win your tickets, just buy your goddamn tickets. Just do it. But anyway, let's go. Let's spin this wheel. Let's see who wins 2 tickets for Hard Knocks Undeniable. Ooh. Johnny Binks, you are the winner of 2 Hard Knocks Undeniable tickets. Johnny Binks, you are our winner. Congratulations on winning 2 Hard Knocks Undeniable tickets. As I said, September 1st, Dolan's Warehouse, Limerick City. Congratulations. Thanks again to everybody that got involved in the competition, who entered the competition. And even if you didn't win a ticket, just go and buy your tickets. Be there. Get out to Hard Knocks. But Johnny Binks, we will see you at Hard Knocks. We will be in touch in the day. If we're not in touch already, we will be in touch in the next couple of days. We can't wait to see you on September 1st. Congratulations.
Again, congratulations, Johnny. We'll be in contact with you, winner of the giveaway. Hard Knocks, Undeniable. As Carmo said, look forward to as well. I'm going to say this now, so that if you're listening for a couple of seconds, you still don't know when this is coming out. Next Wednesday, we sit down with the Snake Sammy D, talking about not only Hard Knocks, but as well we talk to Sam and get his thoughts, opinions, everything that's happened with the draw, his opinions on what's going on with Barry, and what Sam expects to happen coming up at ScrapperMania. All that to look forward to.
Do you know what? If you don't really want to miss out on this, right? Head over to the YouTube, FiveMarks Pod or FiveMarks Podcast, right? Go in there, right, and you'll see that little subscribe button just underneath the logo, right? Click that, right? And beside that, there's a little bell icon, right? If you hit that and then turn it on, it'll send you a notification when the episode comes out. Even better, you can't miss it out. Subscribe to the YouTube.
What a seller.
Professionalism.
What a seller. Give this man a raise.
I've been doing this for fucking long enough.
Well, let's get into it. So, as I said, look, we're going to heavy talk about the Dublin card. We're going to go through, give our thoughts and predictions quickly on the Wolverhampton card, as that's kind of a lot of people that we've heard. Well, not a lot. We've seen near enough everybody on here, but it's a heavy kind of make the crowd happy type of show. So I'm going to kick off with one which this match very nearly had me buying a ticket to Wolverhampton. I was heavy thinking about it. Dan Maloney versus Connor Mills. That's going to be a fucking banger. I really want Connor Mills to come over to OTT into Dublin because he is such an exceptional fucking talent. What a heel.
Yeah, Drilla obviously back as well from Japan. I think this is his first appearance in OTT. I think he was due to appear. The show ended up getting cancelled for a number of reasons. So it's good to see him back. But Connor Mills is phenomenal. I saw him earlier this year in RevPro, and like he's just extremely good.
Was that show actually cancelled? I swear Mr. Gold there went to it.
Mr. Gold went to it. No one else did.
I went to it. I knocked on the door. No one there. Like no one gave me the memo. I couldn't believe it. Flew all the way over there, traveled all those miles to get to Birmingham, to get the Wolves, to be told you can't be defending your championship tonight. I was like, oh, okay.
I love the way everything Rob says is a promo.
I love how it was like nobody gave him the memo. It's like, as if like he has this old Nokia phone and no social media. I didn't check Instagram or Twitter.
No, I don't do. I just do like sort of pigeon carrier over you, like.
Hold on, let me ask Joe something. Yeah, I forgot.
Tying it onto the
leg. One day he just ends up tying it onto people's backs.
I just imagine like in The Simpsons, the pigeon just flies into like an electric line and like bursts into flames, and Rob's there, and he's just like, that pigeon was one day away from retirement.
Moving on to another absolutely fun match here. We've got a 6-man tag of many talents that we all know. This one actually could be a banger. Robbie X and Speedball teaming with Mr. Kid Lycos, the former Progress World Champion, to take on Omari, Big Damo, and Big Flexi Adam Maxted. 24 hours, may I say, before his big 8-man tag.
Yeah, it's an interesting match. To see Speedball and Robbie X team together, you know, could there be a bit of tension heading into Dublin? Obviously, they could have an X Division title match. Who knows? Kid like us in OTT again. It's just such a pity it's not in Dublin, but it is what it is. Omari, Damo, and Flex is an interesting tag team. You've kind of got the Belfast boys who don't really see eye to eye. Like Flex kind of turned on Demo to join the draw originally. Omari's kind of like he's had a big rivalry with the draw over the years. There's kind of been that kind of rivalry then for the title with himself and Demo. It's an interesting tag match, but it could, like, if all teams think together, it could be one of the best matches on the show.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, you say like, you know, just 24 hours prior to an 8-man tag team match, teaming up with Big Damo, and I say it could be. It's almost reminiscent of, you know, last year's one where you had, you know, all sort of, you know, that tag team match where you had last year with Flexi, you know, on the draw against the old 1-2-1 lads, and it brings back that sort of kind of, you know, togetherness in this well. So it'll be interesting to see how the three of them can sort of team up alongside each other, and as you say, the tension between Robbie X as well, could throw up interesting.
Also,
things.
I just wanna correct myself. I misspoke the match. It's actually a 4-on-1 handicap match 24 hours later, but we'll get into that a little later on.
I just want
Thankfully, I have it here to back me. Like.
That will be heated when that does come up in a few minutes' time.
Yeah.
But like, I just wanted to just note this really, really quick as well. Just talk about this match. To the best of my knowledge, this is the only match that Omari is booked for over that weekend. And when I realized that, as of recording, anyways, because you know, titles are card subject to change and everything like that. But I was actually like so disappointed realizing that and stuff because like, you know, Omari is like one of the best wrestlers like in ring in the UK and Ireland and everything like this. And I just thought, I don't know, my heart was broken. And we only saw Omari wrestle in RCW a few weeks ago as well. So like when I realized he wasn't going to be on the Dublin card and stuff like that, I was just like, the shame. Do you know what I mean? Main evented it there 2 years ago. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not that long.
2 years ago.
All I will say is that we know this is the only match he's booked for the weekend.
Yeah. As of recording,
he could be in a tag match on in Dublin.
There's no tag matches on Dublin. Moving on. LJ Cleary versus James Ellis.
Unbelievable match, yeah. Yeah, really, really good match. James Ellis is one of the big rising stars at the moment. He's making his way through everywhere in the last year. And so to go up against LJ Cleary is going to be huge. Yeah, really good match.
Perfect.
Can't wait for it.
And as well, LJ Cleary's first match back in OTT since Spankdown, I believe.
Yeah.
So, we know how good LJ Cleary is. Like as I said, like all these matches are for Wolverhampton are all fucking top tier, can steal the whole weekend matches. This one, I wish I was here to see this one live. Charles Crowley versus Danhausen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolute comedy that's going to be.
Yeah, hands down.
That's going to be fun, yeah.
Yeah, so that for, you know, obviously the comedic side of things, you know, as I say, it's just going to be like if everyone's not going to have a smile on their face, then there'll be something wrong with them when they see this match because it's be so good.
I'd like to point out the whole like everyone better have a smile while looking so stern and like such a businessman there.
But like we did see Danhausen as well in Progress recently. I can't remember who he fought.
Gene Money,
that's it. And like they did have a bit of a comedy match, but Danhausen is coming over to wrestle as well. He's coming over to show his worth. He did have a match recently against James Ellis in a promotion that I can't remember. And again, they had a straight up wrestling match. There was a little bit of comedy. So you would know if they are going to go full into the comedy side, are they going to have a straight up wrestling match? But it's going to be good either way.
Exactly.
It's gonna be a fun match. I can't. I again a bit like the Dan Malone and Connor Mills. That was one that nearly had me going straight over to Wolverhampton, but fuck traveling up to Dublin to go to an airport. Next match, which shockingly isn't actually the main event, the OTT champion Trent Seven versus Trevor Lee, formerly known as Cameron Grimes.
Again, a match that could have big implications going into Dublin.
Yeah.
If Trevor Lee wins beats Trent Seven for the title,
it
could have big implications.
Yeah, can you imagine Sammy D in the main event in Dublin? Like, unbelievable.
I don't think the title's on the line for that match.
I don't know. It might be. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'd imagine it would be.
Sure, look, we'll either or. It's going to be a fucking banger. We know how good Trevor Lee is. I was baffled when he was in that round of releases. How a guy who was so hot in NXT just, was left fucking doing nothing for nearly a year. Lost all the momentum. Went to the main roster. Nothing happened. So, Trent Seven. Obviously, these two guys have been in the WWE. They are on big fucking time skill levels. So it's going to be an absolutely fucking brilliant match, a fun match in Wolverhampton, and again in Trent Seven's hometown. So who's going to win that one? We're going to have to wait and find out. And then the main event, Nick Nemeth coming over, the TNA World Champion, versus man like Doris.
Yeah, what a match that's going to be! I can't wait for that one. Really, I mean, you've got two world-class athletes going up against one another, and it will blow the roof off the venue, and I can't wait. And it might even blow off the doors, who knows?
There's no doors in that building.
Apparently there wasn't. Well, there was whenever I was there, but just couldn't get in.
No, it's going to be an absolute fucking banger of a match. I've been fucking saying for ages, someone needs to put a fucking world title in man like Doris. Especially his work in fucking progress. Jesus Christ, that man is on fire.
He'll definitely be a future OTT world champion without a shadow of a doubt. Just this year alone, the way that he's been pushed forward and everything like this, he is doing tremendous work. Like,
it's going to be fucking a big fucking stepping opportunity for a man like Doris. But as well, the first match having Nick Nemeth come over. What a fucking way to start things off. What do you think?
And again, it could be for the TNA World Championship. Who knows?
Yeah.
added stuff inside there. Before we go on to the Dublin card, I do want to talk about the Belfast card very, very quickly because we do have a couple of matches on the card. One of them, I'll start off with this one. Session Mount Martina versus Dan Barry versus the Sem versus Danhausen. I'm just delighted to see Sam and Danhausen in a match together.
Yeah, it's just going to be a fun match. Really, really fun match. Like, Dan Barry is kind of he's a fantastic wrestler. He was at the first ScrapperMania that I was at, I believe.
He was in that big, was it like 4 or 5-way match?
It was like a 5-way match, yeah, I think, yeah. And like, he's a bit of a comedy wrestler as well. We know what Sam can do. We know what Danhausen can do. We know what Martina can do. So add them all into a match together. It's going to be a fun match, really fun match.
Anyone else want to chop in?
Well, to be fair,
no, apparently not.
No,
I'm not.
Moving on.
But I say myself, looking forward to watching it back when it hits the OTT on demand service as well during the week.
As I said, the one thing everybody wanted over the Scrapper weekend was just Sam, in some capacity, in some way, had to be in a ring with Danhausen. It had to be done. If it wasn't done, there was some fucking pissed off fans. So the fact it's happening, I'm absolutely delighted it's happening. As well, Carmel mentioned there the added of Dan Barry. We know Session Martina as well likes to have a bit of fun. You know, so there could be drinking, there could be magic, there could be some weird stuff going on, and then there's Dan Barry. So there's a lot of elements there. As well on in Belfast, Terry Thatcher versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Holy fuck! That's gonna fucking slap.
Yeah, incredible. And again, could be for the TNA X Division Championship. We don't know.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen what Terry can do in the Rebel X Division down in Cork. We know he likes that kind of style of wrestling as well. So stick the two of them together. It's gonna be unbelievable.
It's gonna be a fucking hell of a match. And like we know the speed that Mike Bailey has. Terry Thatcher is also a quick person. I know that firsthand. So I'd hope somehow, some way Joe can have some talks with TNA. Maybe it gets the X Division title there on the line, because just to have that on Terry Thatcher's resume is brilliant. And Thatcher's someone who I believe should be on the Scrapper card. I thought he would, in some way, he might be in a multi-man match or something. So, but look, Speedball Mike Bailey match, that's just as fucking good. And it just adds to make the Belfast card, like, because every year I feel like we talk about how Belfast have the Skipple Joe cards. You don't have to be at a Belfast show. This one's completely fucking different. Another match, Trent Seven versus Mad Like Doris, with the added thing of it will be for the OTT World Championship if Trent Seven walks out of Dublin with the title still intact.
Who's to say it couldn't be for the OTT World Championship and the TNA World Championship?
How was it going to be for the TNA
We have
World
these
title?
possibilities.
And like Doris just has he just has like the Mania 18 moment with the two belts at the end of the Belfast show.
I unfortunately will say that it's not going to be for the TNA World Championship, but it's probably not going to be for the OTT World Championship. But I was at their match in SmackDown and they lit it up. Like, they were unbelievable together. So yeah, really looking forward to that one as well.
As I said, look, if Trent Seven can get past whoever he needs to get past and becomes a world title match, I do hope Man Like the Reeds gets the win. I've fucking said it so many times. Someone needs to slap a world title on him. He's got the best entrance. He's absolutely flawless in the ring. He's just due his time. And this match,
raging, absolutely raging.
On card, I can't wait for it, because it's not a passing of the torch, but it's finally we're kind of acknowledging this guy a bit. LJ Cleary versus the sculpted Cian Noonan.
Very excited for that.
It's gonna be a fucking banger. I am so happy for Noonan. Obviously last year, I believe it was last year after Scrapper, or was it after Anniversary? Noonan got his debut match at the Belfast show against Robbie X. This is another big time tester match, because LJ Cleary is, everyone knows, Irish Wrestling's MVP. Cian Noonan, I have called the dark horse of Irish wrestling for a very, very long time. And I think at Hard Knocks, he showed he's not the dark horse anymore. He is Irish wrestling. To get to step up against LJ Cleary, who is the best that we have to offer, and see what he can do, I can't fucking wait to see what the two guys absolutely hammer out. And most importantly, I can't wait for the OTT fans who haven't seen this level of Cian Noonan to see what they've been missing out on, which we've been seeing every damn time in Dolan's Warehouse. So do not sleep on Noonan and LJ Cleary. That match is going to steal the fucking weekend.
Absolutely. Hands down, because I mean, I would say Robbie X match, and you could tell the fans were so behind Cian, that evening as well, and to see them behind him again against someone like LJ Cleary, and to see him against LJ Cleary just shows you how much he has improved over the past couple of years as well on the scene. And it's credit to himself, it's credit to everyone who's worked with him, to how much that he has got behind him, and the fact that everyone is now behind the sculpted one just shows you how well he is, and how he continuing to still improve. which is a scary thing at such a young age to be and to do. But Cian Noonan is hands down. He's going to be not not only is he not just one to watch anymore, but he's going to be the one that everyone's going to be talking about for years to come.
100%. I'm telling you now, when LJ has moved on and gone off to the WWE or wherever he goes, Noonan will be that guy. He 100% will be that guy.
I would not say it's outside the realm of possibility for Noonan to win that match as well in Belfast. And if he does, I've had conversations like with I think I've either had this conversation with one of you before. It wasn't at the last Hard Knock show, but it was at one prior. And I was just saying that like there was just something missing in how people view Cian Noonan. Like, do you know what I mean? Because in ring he's absolutely phenomenal, like, do you know, great presence, all this stuff. But there's just this one thing missing. And for me, like as a fan and everything is because I love Cian Noonan. If if he got put over that Sunday and he got the win over LJ, just I think everyone's perception of Cian Noonan as a talent would change. Like, and it started to change for me after the last show, like when he challenged Sammy for the world title and everything like that, because that was phenomenal. That was a really, really good match and stuff. Is I think this moment now at that show on Sunday is probably going to be Noonan's breakout moment. Like, do you know what I mean? Win, lose, or draw. But I hope personally he does get that win because could you imagine the reaction from the crowd inside in Belfast of everything if he did go over? Like, do you know what I mean? So very, very excited for it. Like,
And like not just the win, as I say, like, you know, as I say, the crowd that are going to be there to watch it, but the reaction to people, you know, either watching it back or hearing the result of Cian Noonan beating LJ Cleary as well would
yep.
then shock with around wrestling as well. Do you know what I mean? But not so much a shock to us because we've seen how good that he has become. So it's not much of a shock to us that can actually happen. Do you know what I mean? Because it would be no shock to me if that was to happen either. You know, so it'd be nice to see, you know, on his record that he's, you know, taken and, you know, beat LJ in Belfast, you know, the night after ScrapperMania.
It's going to be one to watch. I'm telling you now, do not sleep on Cian Noonan versus LJ Cleary. That'll be one of the matches of the weekend, and there's a lot of good matches this weekend.
Yep.
But we get to the Dublin card now. This obviously is the one. This is where all the stories are. This is where everything's happening. You have to be at the National Stadium. One thing as well, just I might as well point it out because the emails came out today. If you're doing any of the meet and greets in Dublin, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. for the meet and greets, you must have your tickets, and bell time is at 5 p.m. So make sure you're up on time. And to anyone that complains about the 5 p.m. time, I just know that we're from Clare and we're happy that's at 5 p.m. So
actually home at a reasonable hour.
That's fucking brilliant. We actually get some sleep.
Lads, just got an announcement there. It's about the 8-man tag team match. It's just came through to me.
Oh, Christ, I don't even want to listen to this.
It's Emmett and Carmel Barry. That's 2 members. One more to go.
And you know what? I bleed for Barry.
Emmett's in the ring getting his shit kicked out of him. I love this shit.
We have a tag team name and everything. Like, we're going to be called the Caramelized Tashes.
Just works. Just works.
What's the theme song?
Oh God. Has to be something by Mika. What's that song? Lollipop. You know, suck to Imagine the crowd's reaction. Who the fuck are these guys? They're not even wearing gear, like.
Just a couple of be cool fucking t-shirts. I don't even like this pink one.
They're like little crop tops, and we have bandanas on and stuff like this, you know. But yeah.
We're actually called the Old Bucks, not the Old Bucks.
Health insurance party. Oh God, that's the nerdiest joke I've ever made in the podcast now. All right.
Let's get into the Dublin card. And yes. We're going to kind of work our way to the story matches. But I'm going to start off with this one, which is not exactly where I saw the person being, but I'm happy he's getting a title match. GN Championship. Ilya Zarkov versus Santos versus Man Like DeReese versus Dan Barry. Carmo, who the fuck is the GN champion? I know he put a gun to her, but like...
Yeah, technically Celine, but like it's Zarkov now.
Apparently, you could just walk into a locker room, put a gun to someone's head, say, "Give me your title," you become champion.
Well, things do happen.
Yeah.
I know what has to be done at Scrapper.
Martin just storms down with a fucking rifle.
I was gonna say you walk out the door. There's Rob holding every championship. Like he's like Kurt Angle in TNA when he won all the gold.
Perk Goldie.
Just mindlessly firing the gun into the air, holding all
Yeah,
the belts.
Guys, it's not even real.
Interesting match. There's kind of stuff all over here. Like Dan Barry is cool to see in that match. I don't know if he's going to win it. Man like the Reese, I can't see winning it either. Although it will be a good opportunity for him to get a championship. OTT.
Santos.
Zarkov.
Santos.
Zarkov, I've been very impressed with lately. He's on a good roll. And then you have Santos,
Santos.
who would have a phenomenal opportunity to go with GN champion. But we don't know if Celine is going to be around. Celine might enter that match. It might become a 5-person match. We don't know.
What the fuck's that gonna do?
What do you mean? What's that going to do?
Celine enters the match. You still got fucking Santos there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I get that. But like, I'm just saying, from the added element of who is the GN champion, Celine could enter that match, which could then give us the definitive answer to who is the GN champion. Because if Santos win, who knows? He might have to go up against Celine to fully crown the GN champion.
Yeah, exactly. And
Like the basketball dribble.
As I said, this is not where I kind of envisioned Santos getting into his first Scrapper Mania. I honest to God thought NLW Championship, Santos runs a rose. It's still a title. It's still an OTT title, the GN title. I'm not even going to talk about the other guys in the matchup because everyone knows I'm a massive fucking Santos mark. I hope he takes the GN title that night. It would be fucking brilliant, and I think he could have a hell of a run with it.
yep. And he deserves it as well. You know what I mean? He deserves a title because obviously he is a future OTT world champion. There's no question about that. But getting in that, putting that in the door, with the GN championship is where it starts from a lot of the so-called up and comers as such to the division and to OTT in itself.
All right, that's the first title I won.
Yeah.
Hear the awkward song. I am purposely going to put in the cricket noise on that right there.
Boo! You suck!
Moving on. We have the money match. Robbie X versus Speedball Mike Bailey.
For the X Division World Championship.
It's already the money match. You can't put any more money into this.
Yeah.
So
unbelievable opportunity for Robbie X, who deserves it. But like he was recently in CMLL, or if he's not, he will be in CMLL competing in a tournament there. It's a huge opportunity, and like I know Martin has been campaigning for Robbie X to get signed to TNA, and he's a perfect fit for an X Division roster. So who knows? Maybe this is the opportunity for Robbie X to get in that door.
I was going to say, this could be the last weekend we see Robbie X in OTT. If that match goes down the way we're expecting it to go down. And I can just assume this is going to be one of those, the way they always have a showcase match goes up on the OTT YouTube every once in a while. I'd guarantee in like 3 months' time, this is going to be up on there and it's going to be circulating like mad. Like
this is as close, as Carmel said, this is as close as I'm getting to what I want. Robbie X in the X Division. That man is a fucking hell of a talent. Holy God, can he fucking go. I'm kind of like Carmel. Look, if that fucking title goes up on the line, I'll be happy. But I've been campaigning for that man to be signed. The money match obviously is the usual. This side you get him, this side you get him, just so this way they can get some booze into the match. Like the typical, oh, yay, oh. But I think these two could fucking smash it out of the park. And obviously, I'm fucking rooting for Robbie X in this one.
Do you know what's kind of cool about it too that I just realized is like Speedball was like such a consistent mainstay in OTT pre-pandemic and everything, whereas post-pandemic kind of Robbie X has been fairly consistent in OTT and everything like that. So it's kind of like you have like a little bit of a clash there too, which is cool. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, exactly. Like, do you know what I mean?
The torch.
But no, I'd say that there's the potential for this to be match of the weekend without question. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's like from watching the two lads in various matches before and everything is. I can tell you now, if there's someone who's dragged along by a friend or something that's never watched the wrestling match, this is the potential to be one of those matches that would get someone who knows nothing about wrestling to be like, oh my God, I get it now. Like, do you know what I mean? Because it's going to be absolutely phenomenal.
Definitely. And I think about it is, I mean, there's so many matches this weekend that could be the best match of the weekend. And
Mm.
that's a good feeling to know and to have going into this weekend, no matter whether you're, watching it back, from on demand, or whether you're going to be there at the shows to watch it. There's just going to be so many good matches to be a part of. And it's what wrestling's all about.
100%. 100%. Now, I'm going to let Carmel kind of talk about this one because I know this one kind of makes him a bit happy. 6-man tag team action, BDE versus the lads from the flats.
Weirdly, this is the match I'm most excited for on any show. I cannot wait for the return of the lads from the flats. Martin and Worky back together again. We haven't seen Martin in quite a while in OTT. Worky has been he's been floating around, but again, we haven't seen him in quite a while. So to see the lads from the flats back again with Limo, of course. Who knows? Maybe a Paddy Morrow is hanging around there somewhere.
I was going to
Who
say to you, do
knows?
you see Paddy getting involved?
Yeah, I could, I could. Um, it wouldn't be outside the realm, but I'm very excited for this match. I reckon BDE are going to take it because it's a better opportunity for them. Maybe with Limo in there, Limo is still kind of, I don't want to use the word up and coming, but kind of up and coming. He's still trying to find his spot on the OTT roster. But I can't wait for it. I can't wait for the reception that the lad from the flats are going to receive in the national stadium.
Now, we
Oh,
saw
yeah.
a promo there recently that was a BDE or OTT put out. Corey Zero's involved now.
Yeah,
And there's another person from the flats that could get herself involved. Maybe a
absolutely.
session with Martina coming out.
Why not? The original lads from the flats.
So, anyone want to throw in more comments?
I'll
I'm
be
just
down for that
wondering if
100%. And it's party time every time that the lads from the flats come out. So I can't wait to have a little bit of a rave in the national stadium.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if the dog is going to make an appearance after all this.
Right, the last time the dog was involved in a wrestling show, things didn't go well.
And see that's
So
exactly why I bring this up because it's a Rottweiler too. Isn't it? That's the dog that the lad stuck was a Rottweiler, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And if that
think so,
Rottweiler
so.
gets loose, someone is getting fucking mauled. Like,
Thank you.
Robert Gold. Rob.
No, he's all the way back near the stalls.
But speaking of Session Moth Martina, there's nothing on for her. Session Moth Martina appearing.
Mhm.
What do you guys see her doing? Did you see her wrestling? If so, who against? What's your kind of predictions going on here?
It's either what you said, she's either going to join the lads from the flats and it's going to turn into kind of an eight-person tag, I suppose, with Corey Zero, or they have someone brought in for her to face. Maybe she's facing Corey Zero in a singles match. Who knows? But she's not going to just be like appearing and not doing anything. Obviously, at the last year's anniversary show, we were supposed to have the ladder match, which unfortunately Martina was injured, so she's not going to want to miss another stadium show. No way.
Yeah. It's going to be so interesting to see what they have for her because I mean you can't have a ScrapperMania without a session off, not just appear in action, So where who they put her against, no one knows yet. No.
I mean, I got one person in mind, but everyone's telling me no. Not a chance. Not a chance that this person comes in unadvertised. Her name gets thrown around every single ScrapperMania. But still, she's a free agent now.
Not happening. No way.
Everyone keeps saying that to me.
Not Trish Stratus, so it's not that. That's fine.
No.
I'd love to see it more than anybody, probably, but like I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it. Like if it was to happen, there would be a build to it.
That's what everyone
It
says.
wouldn't be a show up on the show. Who am I fighting? Who's going to take on Martina? And then out she comes. You'd want that kind of similar to how LJ and Cardona happened, where LJ was kind of like coming out in every show and was like, I want to fight Mark Cardona. I want to fight back Cardona.
But what if
No response from Cardona.
What if it's
kind of like Cena and the Undertaker? That's the kind of build you'd almost want.
But what if there's a kind of a mutual agreement put in place of, hey, I just want to come in, unknown, big surprise, like Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone, and let's just see what the fucking pop is.
Maybe. People place would go mental. And if Emma Casey is not there to see that, he will go absolutely crazy.
I think I'd be A-okay in not seeing that as well. Like, I'd be A-okay in not seeing it if she does that accent that she was doing on TV for the last few years. Oh, sweet Jesus, like, do you know what I mean? But it's like the worst part about it, you haven't mentioned who this is by name this entire time.
Because
and the whole sorry, go on.
Yeah, simply because I don't want to be like, oh, you're bringing her up again for a fucking ScrapperMania. Every national stadium, it's this name.
But all I was thinking of in my head as you were like saying all of this is I was like, I obviously knew who you were talking about, of course, like, but I was just like, they're actually talking about Shelton Benjamin's mama. That's it. Because if she came out now, that pop would be something altogether.
I was actually talking about Mae Young, but all right.
The urn just comes out.
I was just going to say it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to let that be what it is.
2013 all over again. Session Moth just accidentally spills the urn all over the place. Like, oh, God.
People rushing the ring looking to get a bit.
For the second championship match on this card, the NLW Championship is on the line. Renzo Rose versus Danhausen. Who we got?
I've seen a lot of people give out about this match, not to the sense of it's Danhausen versus Renzo Rose, but the fact that it should be Danhausen versus the Sam. And I actually like Danhausen versus Renzo Rose more than I'd like Danhausen versus the Sam.
Same.
Reason being is because like we've seen Renzo and Sam kind of have their back and forth. And I know there are similarities between Danhausen and Sam and kind of the characters and stuff like that. But it suits Renzo Rose. It allows him to get frustrated at someone else. So that kind of way. And it gives that opportunity for Danhausen to come in and have a proper wrestling match while also adding that comedy element. And someone that can play along with it so well. You also have the added stipulation that Renzo can't defend the NLW title against anyone Irish. Why not give him an import like Danhausen?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing about it is, you could actually add into this element too by maybe possibly having the Sam as a special referee for the match.
The Sam's going to be involved either way. Like, there's no way Sam's just going to sit in the sidelines for this match. He's going to be there in some sort of capacity. It's going to happen. And who knows? It's probably not going to happen because our next NLW champion is more than likely going to be Damo. They've built up to that for quite a while. But Danhausen could walk out as our NLW champion.
Sorry, I forgot to mention as well. It's Renzo versus Damo in Belfast, isn't it?
I don't think it's actually been announced. Maybe it has. I don't think so. But I'd imagine we're getting Damo and Renzo in Belfast.
I'm going to have to double check that because I know it was supposed to happen.
I know at the last OTT show that they've done, obviously, the Sanity show, whenever Damo says, like, I'll see you in Belfast.
It's at Aftermath. So the NLW title match is happening in Belfast.
So, yeah, that's probably where Renzo's probably going to drop his NLW title.
I'd also like to add, it's the main event of the Belfast show.
That's been... How long are they hyping that now? Since like January time? If not longer.
Far too long, in my opinion. Far too long. And
this match should have happened months ago.
The fact it was supposed to go on to like September. And I think the first time it happened was what? Gaff Party or something like that?
Yeah.
So far too long, but look, it's gonna all come to a head this weekend, so it's gonna be a fucking absolute blast. Obviously, I don't see Renzo losing the title. But it'll probably be the one serious match Danhausen has over the weekend.
Yeah. There's going to be a mixture of both. There's going to be serious and comedy in it.
moving on, and I'm specifically going to go on to this match next because the next matches after this are heavy story talked about. But Nick Nemeth versus LJ Cleary.
There's nothing to be said. There really isn't. It's going to be a match of the night,
Yeah.
and it's going to be unbelievable, and I can't wait for it. There's nothing else to be said.
If you think Carmel's excitement is false, here is a picture of Carmel when the match actually got announced. The only person standing, clapping, and happy.
Yeah.
That is a very funny photo, to be fair.
It is very funny, in fairness. But yeah, look, like it's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
From start to finish. Like, we haven't fully seen what LJ can do. We probably haven't Fight Factory since he's come back from Japan and since he's been in Japan. But like seeing his work in Japan and how much he's improved since going to Japan and now coming back and going up against one of the best wrestlers in the world, Dolph Ziggler and Nick Nemeth, it's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be just a crazy, crazy match.
I just want to kind of bring up something about these matches that Nick is doing over that weekend too. Just I want to kind of like pick your brains a small bit about this. I would love personally to see one of either like Man Like Darius or LJ go over against Nick. Now I don't see it happen at the same token because Nick is someone else's world champion and everything like this. If you had to pick one of the two, like who would you rather see go over with Nick? Would you rather see LJ get a win against Nick, or would you rather see Man Like Darius get a win against?
Yeah, for me it's LJ. Yeah.
I was going to say the same because like LJ has had some absolutely phenomenal matches in the stadium. Like, do you know what I mean? Obviously, you've got the Cardona match. There's been the 5-ways, tag matches, and everything like this too. Like, I think LJ is really overdue that big win in the National Stadium as well. Like, do you know what I mean? And I think they've the like prime moments here to do it. Like, do you know what I mean? And as well as that, I think it's so much better that this is happening now than if it could have possibly happened a few years ago as well. Because like if you go back and watch that Contender show where he came back, and you watch SmackDown and everything is. LJ just in ring and like presentation wise has this just newfound era of confidence in him and stuff like this, which has me beyond excited to see how this match is going to play out. Like, do you know what I mean? Because it's a very different LJ Cleary now than before he left to go to Japan and everything, which is really cool to see.
Absolutely.
Like all you need to do is just throw those two names up, and you know it's going to be an absolute banger of a match. You know, you don't even need to how good it's going to be because you just know.
That's the thing. Like we could talk about this match for an hour if we wanted. We really could.
Yeah.
Well,
but I don't see the point. But if you're not excited for this match as it is, like there's nothing that we're going to say that's going to change your mind. This is going to be one of the best matches that we see in the National Stadium, I believe. And it's probably going to be when we sit down here at the end of the year or early in January, where we look back at this match as being the best Irish wrestling match to happen this year. If not, at least top 2 or top 3, like 100%. It's going to be incredible.
Well, this is where the fun begins. This is where the differences start. And I'm just saying we haven't reached the draw yet, but OTT Tag Team titles. The freshness. Coming back to the National Stadium one more time. Going up against the OTT Tag Team Champions, the greatest tag team on this island, the Social Elite. I'm going to let you boys go first.
I think I'm in a 3-on-1 match here, baby. I think you're all very Social Elite.
It's going to be, I mean, it's like I love, and that's, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, I do have that inkling feeling that we are going to see new OTT Tag Team Champions. I really do. As much as I like the Social Elite, and I do, and I love them, freshness, for me, they've been looking for these Tag Team Championships for quite a long time. They've deserved them. They should have won them last year, in my opinion.
Yep.
This year, as a lot of people say about Liverpool looking for the Premier League title, this is this year. This is their year. You're welcome. And that is just what I think. And that, as much as I'd like to have to see the Social Elite walking out tag team champions, I just don't see it. It will be new tag team champions. And Freshness. Solid.
I'm going to let everyone else go before I kind of kick off here.
Well, no, like I would fully agree because like last year in the stadium, it should have been there and then. Like there was so many points during the match that all of us were convinced the freshness were going to go over and win the tag belts and everything is. I absolutely adore the Social Elite. Social Elite have been on nearly every show I've been to over the past year or so now and everything like this. They really they look great with the belts and everything like this. They're great in ring, but it's just like I don't know. I think one thing that's been missing in OTT for a long time, I would nearly say since like post COVID and everything like that, is we haven't had a real good, great tag team rivalry. And if the potential here, give the freshness the belts, let the Social Elite chase after them. Let them be dirty, rotten bastard heels, like, do you know what I mean? Let the freshness be like the clean cut babyface and everything, and let them go a few months having rip roaring bangers for those belts, like, do you know what I mean? Because like Social Elite already have like belts in other federations and stuff like this. They're without question like the most dominant force in like Irish tag team wrestling and everything is. But like the freshness, they like I don't even think they just deserve this moment. They need this moment. Like the two boys need that moment in the National Stadium in front of 200 2,000 people holding those belts, like, do you know what I mean? And I'm in full agreement with Rob. It should have been last year. Like our hearts were in our mouths watching that match last year. And they have the potential to kind of recreate that kind of I don't know, kind of momentum and stuff like that again. I'd say a lot of people are expecting the Social Elites to just walk in and out with the belts and everything. I think you'd swerve the audience a little bit if you give the belts to the freshness. And again, it's deserved, like, do you know what I mean? So I'm a big Social Elite fan, but I am all in when it comes to the freshness winning the tag team belts.
Go
on,
on.
Martin.
No, you go. Fall in line.
Nice. Yeah, okay. I mentioned on last week's episode where we talked about the kind of story between Sam and Barry, how the Social Elite are probably the best tag team in the country at the moment, and there's no kind of question to it. They hold gold pretty much everywhere. They're unbelievable. But if you're talking outside of LJ Cleary and you're looking at who are the best wrestlers in this country, the first two people that should come to mind are Fabio and Martin Steers. Fabio and Martin Steers have put in the work over the years, and if you look at who's been consistent throughout wrestling, not even Irish wrestling, because these two boys travel the world and wrestle together, they are one of the best tag teams at the moment. And the fact that they might they should be getting signed somewhere, anywhere, at any stage, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. What gets me is the fact that these two have never been tag team champions in any promotion. It's an absolute scandal. Ridiculous. They should have been multi-time world tag team champions in any promotion. I'm all for the Social Elite. Big fans. I like Bullet Smith. I like Max Guinness. I like the both of them. And what they do together is unbelievable. And the heat that they can draw from crowds and everything, fantastic. But I'm telling you now, as we walk out of ScrapperMania, we're having new tag team champions. It's the freshness moment. They have to do it. Have to do it. And I think even to a stage where if they don't do it, you might nearly have to consider the freshness as a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that kind of way? And I hate to say
Yep.
it, and it sounds a bit harsh, and it sounds a bit extreme, but that's the way I kind of look at it. The freshness will 110% walk out of ScrapperMania as the new OTT tag team champions.
I can't believe we've got an episode where Carmel actually agrees with the golden one here. That's the first.
Yeah, that's not going to happen often.
And it's not going to happen with me. Allow me to take you guys back. ScrapperMania. St. Patrick's Day last year. The draw versus the freshness. And everybody said they were going to win. Emmett, what happened?
Don't go reopening old wounds here now. There's no need for that.
They lost. They lost.
They
didn't capture the gold. Since then, after the Social Elite robbed and not put on that ScrapperMania card, they have ran through tag team after tag team after tag team.
All right, Seamus.
And then they got to the local rumble. Where what happened again, Carmel?
The better team won.
And who was the better team?
Social Elite.
The Social Elite.
I made this point last week.
Who have been?
You were actually trying to persuade us that Barry cost him the tag team titles.
Barry did.
I was the one that said the Social Elite were the better team.
100% the better team. Barry still fucked up. Social Elite pick up those tag team titles. Not only did they beat the Draw once, they beat them again. I believe the very next night. Again, Barry's fault. Let's talk about the other teams. Carmo's favourites, the ScrapperManias, beat them. The Hype Dogs, beat them. I don't remember who the other tag team was in that match. Beat them.
Lost Muppet Orders.
And I'm not even talking about tag teams they beat before the tag team title reign, like TNA's, and you could say NXT's, the Rascals, beat them. Who did they retire in the National Stadium again?
God, I'm sick of you mentioning this.
What was his name again? Irrelevant? No. Not good enough? No. Paddy Morrow. Paddy M. That was his name. Retired him. The Social Elite are the best tag team on this fucking island. 367 days as Hard Knocks World Tag Team Champions.
You can guarantee he sat down with a calendar and counted that out before we recorded.
I didn't because it was 2 days ago.
One by one, too.
They went 365 there 2 days ago. The Social Elite are going to walk in to the National Stadium with those tag team titles. They are going to have a repeat for the freshness and leave them crying there with J Money rethinking everything he's fucking invested into these boys. And
now, hold up.
It.
We're forgetting one very, very important thing, and that is what happens at Sanity.
What happened at Sanity?
Thank you. What happened at Spankdown?
Spankdown, I believe it was just a little incident. What are we talking about Sanity here? They weren't even at
Yeah, what
Sanity.
happened at Sanity?
They weren't at
Who
Sanity.
did the freshness beat?
A couple of Irrelevants and Los Mopadores.
Well,
Yeah,
what's
who wore
BC
Los
backstage?
Los Mopadores.
We went backstage and they took off the mask too, were they?
I didn't see anyone behind the masks.
Of course they didn't.
I don't know what the fuck you're on about. We've seen Los Mopadores before. They fought this freshness before, you know? So I don't know what the fuck you're bringing them up for. Socially are walking in with the tag team titles. They're defending them and they're leaving those two in the fucking dust again. And J Money is going to run back to Big Money because there's no other fucking tag team that's going to step to the Social Elite. And like I said to Claire, I'm going to watch every single person again in absolute disbelief, shock, horror on their faces as the Social Elite stand high, and hopefully we see the Lord of the Manor back with the boys.
Just to clarify this as well, so if the freshness don't beat, as I say, if they don't win the OTT Tag Team Championship against the Social Elite, there is one team that hasn't been announced that I think that could actually have the potential to take away those titles from the Social Elite if the freshness don't, and that is the team of Carmo and Emma.
No, not this time anyway. No.
We still haven't bought gear.
I'm willing to make it interesting with you, Martin. Just this one time. We've never done this before. If the Social Elite win, when we do a ScrapperMania review show, I will write a 5-minute speech apologizing to you and claiming how the Social Elite are the best tag team in the world. Not even Europe, not even Ireland, the world.
I want some shit talking to Paddy M in that too.
I will add that too. But if the Freshness win, I want a 5-minute speech from you talking about how the Freshness are the best tag team in the world.
Plus, we need Martin and his jocks.
If you're that confident, that the Social Elite are going to win the tag team, are going to retain the tag team titles of ScrapperMania, you will happily agree to this.
I happily agree. I will happily agree. Also, I only agree to that part, the whole jocks thing. Yeah, we don't need to be cancelled off YouTube.
No, that's not.
Yeah, we don't need to be cancelled off YouTube.
No.
Emmett, put your pants back on.
Can I possibly raise the stakes on this now?
I'm
Because
listening.
a letter now is just one thing or whatever like that, right?
No,
I
speech, a
think
speech.
a speech, fair enough, but like whoever loses, I think should have to take a stink face from Kevin.
Fuck off,
That's
stupid.
like that's like I'd rather do it by jocks than do that. Like
And he's gone.
I just turn on my light. Shut up. Right, moving on because we spent far too much time, and we're going to spend a lot more time on the main event. Well, the opener, I assume, and the main event.
this is where we really get into an argument here, and I'm glad I finally have a bit of backup compared to last week's episode.
Yeah, this will split the chat now.
What I assume could be the opener of the night, the 4-on-1 handicap match of the Draw versus Be Cool. Who wants to go first here? Who wants to start things off?
Do you know what? I think Emmett should go because he wasn't here for last week's episode.
Sorry, I'm just going to move this because my light is huge. I just want to ask you one thing before we get into it, to be fair. Let's have a talk about Be Cool's team and who we think the three other members are going to be.
I think that should be the final thing. I think that should be the
Okay.
final thing we talk about.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I said this to you in the group chat over the past. I've actually been talking about this for the last like 2 or 3 weeks now. And we've been saying for months that we kind of knew Barry obviously was going to be in the title picture and stuff like this. I have a feeling exactly what's going to happen is the Draw are going to be the first people to make an entrance it is going to be the opener. It has to be the opener. The Draw are going to make their entrance. Do you know what I mean? There's already tension among the Draw. Barry will come out, introduce his 3 tag partners. They'll all be 3 huge pop-worthy partners and everything. But what I feel is going to happen is that as the match goes on, all of Barry's team are going to get eliminated quite quickly. And then it's just going to be the 4 members of the Draw against Barry. And Charlie and Sammy will go ham on Barry, beat him down and everything like this. Adam and Jay, I don't know if they're going to lay hands on members of the Draw or whatever like this, but they're going to walk away. They'll intervene or they'll walk away. That'll be the end of the Draw. And Barry, through shenanigans, he'll end up pinning Charlie by accident. He'll end up pinning and Sammy clean. We go through to the main event or whatever like this. I can tell you now, with full certainty, that Barry is winning the OTT World title at the show. There is no doubt in my mind he's winning this title. And the writing has been on the wall since the anniversary show last year. Since his return even, like, do you know what I mean? The seeds for this show were planted at the Draw back in July last year, 12 months ago. And when you look back on these things, because we talked about it kind of hypothetically, being like, oh, was this part of this and everything. I've been watching back these shows as of late. And when you look back at them, knowing where we are now, this was probably always the end goal to get to this. Like, do you know what I mean? And we're coming up to the 10th anniversary of OTT. What a better way to kind of give back to long-term followers of OTT and of Irish wrestling in general by having one of their lads, like one of their day ones, go over a British import for the OTT World title in the National Stadium. Like the National Boxing Hall having a day one OTT talent winning the OTT World title for the first time. The least likely person who should ever win the world title for the record, beating a former WWE star in Trent Seven as well. Like, do you know what I mean? A currently signed TNA star and everything like this. I was kind of hesitant. We were talking with Tony about this a while back, and we were all kind of hesitant as to how the reaction would be to Barry winning the title and everything is. After watching back his attack on Sammy from Sanity, I'm telling you now, when he wins that belt, that place is going to explode. Everyone is going to lose their lives. It's going to be on par, if not louder, than when Sammy won the belt.
I'm gonna jump in because I feel, Karma, you should be the main event here. I really feel like you should be the main event here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna jump in, and I'm not gonna talk about anything that we had a conversation with Sam about. If you want to hear what Sam had to say regarding the match, tune in this Wednesday, 6 p.m. GMT. I'm gonna let Rob go after me. The Draw is the biggest faction, the best faction to ever come into OTT. And there have been many factions. There have been many different teams. Lads from the Flats, Kings of the North, do you know? Was the Rapture. That was Charlie Sterling and making sure I got the name right. None of them have been at the level of the Draw. You have 4 amazing, talented individuals, two of which are an amazing tag team, being Flexi and Sterling. Look, there's some tension there. I won't fucking lie. I've said it many, many times. We've been on the podcast, many prediction episodes, talking about Barry and how I felt from day one Barry was there to be the one to end the draw because of Sam ending his career. There is not a hope, and I don't care who Barry finds. I don't care who is on Barry's team. I don't think anyone will be on Barry's team. It'll be a 4-on-1 handicap match. But the draw will fall in line, as Jay has said on this, on our series of interviews on Controversial Chats. You listen to Sam, you follow Sam, you fall in line. The draw will fall in line, get the job done, and just like last year at ScrapperMania, the Snake will be holding that OTT World Championship high, and Sammy D will make everything right in the world again. Mr. Gold.
I'm just going to make this short and sweet. Just how Be Cool is going to be made short and sweet come ScrapperMania. See, as Martin had rightfully right and said, that as Jay said, you fall in line with the leader. You follow what the leader does. The leader, he's there for a reason, and that is to lead. That's what Sammy D has been doing for almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. He's got the draw on top. He's had the draw on top for just over a year. He's had himself on top as being one of the longest reigning OTT world champions in OTT history. He's became Grand Slam champ, the first ever OTT Grand Slam champion. Got Be Cool in the mix. I just believe there's no way that why you would end such one of the best factions, not just in Irish wrestling, but in the whole of European wrestling. Why would you break up one of the best factions? Especially if you're giving Be Cool the license to break that faction up. But don't get me wrong, there is a possibility that happening. And I, for one, would hate for that to happen. But it will be a case of the draw being on top and Sammy D once again being OTT World Heavyweight Champion.
Where did you pull that out of?
I held a gun up to someone. That's all.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
Can I just add one point really quick before we get into Carmo's bit? Just because I really think this is super important to remember as well. Factions break up and reform all the time. So even if the draw did break up at this, if Barry got the win and everything like that, there is nothing to say that come Local Rumble and everything like this, a new version of the draw could form.
Can't happen.
Do you know what I mean?
But the stipulation, it cannot happen. Barry has said, the draw's done. Draw's over. That's it. It's gone. You cannot come back. It's dead in the water.
But did it specifically say you can't come back? Because this has happened with so many factions over the years. How many times did the Horsemen break up and get back together? Like, do you know what I mean?
And with how many times has Ric Flair retired and come back?
See what I mean? Nothing is forever in wrestling, and that's entirely my point. Like, do you know what I mean? So this, do you know, they could have to break up for now, but there's nothing to say that a different lineup could get together down the because Charlie and Sammy are obviously going to still be in cahoots. Like, do you know what I mean? So who's to say like a Keane Noonan or a Boots Murphy couldn't join the fold of the draw 2.0?
Are you done?
Yeah, just radio silence. Moving on.
I want to start what I have to say by I'm very much Team Be Cool. If you haven't known that by now, you should know that by now. What I will say is whichever way it goes, whether it's Sammy D or Be Cool, whoever wins, I don't mind once Trent Seven doesn't hold the title coming out of ScrapperMania. Straight off the bat. Right? That's one and done. Calling OTT a British wrestling promotion is just fucking blasphemy. But it's going to be cool. Reason being, we've had this old thing of Sammy D. He's had his moment. He's had last year. And that doesn't mean his moment is over. He's going to get more moments. Could happen at the 10th year anniversary. Who knows? From the time that Be Cool returned, has been nothing but good to the draw. He helped them win the OTT Tag Team Championships. He helped them retain the OTT World Championship on more than one occasion. They had the unfortunate slip up for the GN title where they lost it. They lost to a better team in the Social Elite to lose the Tag Team Championships. We saw a bit of a scuffle between Jay and Sam, which ended up costing Sam the OTT World Championship. As well as that, you do have the aforementioned that the Wolf show was cancelled, which could have meant that Sammy had 2 singles matches instead of a triple threat match, which could have meant that Sammy was still the OTT World Championship walking into that. You have to look at everything that has happened in the draw in the last year. We cannot forget that Charlie Sterling challenged Sammy D to an OTT World Championship match and almost turned on Sammy D to join the Grizzled Young Veterans. He was former tag team partners with Gibson. The whole time that's been leading up, we've had Adam Maxted come back. He's got quite a fond relationship with Be Cool now. He didn't attack Be Cool at SmackDown. Didn't throw him through the table. Charlie got the work done. We've seen the bit of a scuffle between Jay and Sammy D, especially at the last show at Sanity, where Jay actually walked out after putting Sammy D on the floor and said, "Fuck the draw." You could dispute that all you want, but that's exactly what he said as he walked out. Be Cool came out. Sam didn't go back, or Jay didn't go back and help Sammy D. He let Be Cool go into the ring and hit Sammy D with a brainbuster. The dissension in the draw is happening, and it's been happening for quite a while. And it's a mixture of different things. And yeah, it might have happened more so when Be Cool came in. But if anything, I think Be Cool was holding the draw together. They had someone to blame. What do you
have someone to blame? All right. I'm gonna have this.
Hang on. Hang on. Go back to last year, right? Go back to last year where you made your point about the freshness not winning the tag team titles against the draw, right? The following night, the draw went and dropped those tag team titles to the Kings of the North, right?
Fair.
What happened for the next year? No Charlie.
No Adam.
Disappeared. Let down the draw. Let down their leader, Sammy D. So Sammy D had to make a phone call to bring someone back to try and help bring that goal back to the draw. Who was that guy? Be Cool. Be Cool has been the glue to the draw of the last year. The glue. Sammy D even said that, I want to find out who a weak link of the draw is. And he loses to Jay. And what happens then? We go on to local rumble where Jay tries to eliminate Be Cool. Be Cool ends up getting the win, thanks damn it. And all that culminates into Sammy D demanding the title shot off of Be Cool.
So
because it's best for the draw, it's for the leader, it's for this. I made the point last week, Emmett is supposed to be our manager or leader of the podcast. If I win an OTT World title shot, I'm not going to give it to Emmett. I'm not going to give it to Martin. I'm not going to give it to Rob. I'm not going to give it to
Selfish cunt.
It's my opportunity. It's the opportunity that Be Cool has worked the last 10 years for. He's gotten that opportunity to make it to ScrapperMania, but selfishly, Sammy D wants that opportunity because it's best for the draw. Even though Be Cool wasn't in the draw until basically he won that opportunity.
Let me throw this at you.
Time the draw has been held together by Be Cool. Be Cool is walking into ScrapperMania. He's going to beat the draw in the 8-man tag team match. He's going to finish the draw. He's going to go on to face Trent Seven. He's going to become the new OTT World Champion.
Let me throw this to you, okay? If you don't think that Sam deserved to be given that opportunity, Who lost the GN title for?
I think Sammy D was deserved to get an opportunity. He's
Barry
never had a rematch.
Barry,
he's never had his rematch.
I'm talking
but
Barry.
If you're looking at the grand scale of things, this is going back to Cody Rhodes and The Rock at the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble. He has his guaranteed shot at a World Championship match. The Rock swoops in. He's like, "No, I'm The Rock. I should get my title shot." No, that's not how things go. If you win a Royal Rumble, you win that match. You were guaranteed a World Championship shot at ScrapperMania.
Here's my counter.
Why should he give that up to anybody?
Do you know why he should give it up? This is why. Let's go back to the Showdown show. I don't know what it was called. Who lost the GN title for the draw? Barry.
Fine, absolutely fine. He could have lost the tag team titles. He held on to them. He gave up the GN
they could have retained the GN title. Who tripped Jay off the top rope?
Barry.
Barry's fault. Who lost the tag titles for the draw?
Barry.
That is, if you want to count 3 titles, he owes the draw championship titles. So he could have.
If anything, he owes Jay a title shot, with your logic. So, who's to say if Barry wins the title that he doesn't retain exactly what you're after saying and offers Jay a title match at the 10th anniversary show?
Here's where we can throw this out. Jay is injured. Maybe they expected Jay to be out longer. So Sam, put it out there. I'll take that shot because I'm the leader. I'll take the opportunity. You owe us fucking belts. Barry has cost the draw everything. You want to talk about Charlie and Sam? Why did Charlie challenge Sam? Because he was pissed off that Sam was letting Barry beat Barry. And if you want to hear all about, asking Sam why he let this go on for so long, this coming Wednesday. But that's why Charlie did what Charlie did. So when Sam has come around now you can see the real unity between Charlie and Sam. There's frustration there.
By the way, you mentioned that moment of Charlie getting annoyed that Sam was letting Be Cool about doing what Be Cool did. We get to that Belfast show. Who handed Be Cool that draw shirt?
Yeah, he fell in line.
Who was it?
I don't remember.
It was Charlie Sterling. If he was so annoyed about Sam letting Be Cool do what he wants to do, why would he hand Be Cool a draw shirt?
Do you know why? You'll hear all about Sam gave that exact reason of why he got into the draw and why they let him do that.
It's a great answer, but it's not the answer I'm talking about.
Well, I'm not spoiling. I'm not spoiling. People are going to have to listen and check that out. But
fact of the matter is, Be Cool deserves that title shot. And I will say that Be Cool made the mistake. Be Cool is after making this 8-man tag. He's after putting his opportunity on the line against Sammy D to cause the end of the draw. That's the stipulation. That's what it is. It's title match versus the faction. That's exactly what it is. Be Cool put it on the line. Why he put it on the line, I don't know. He didn't need to. He deserved that OTT World title shot. He deserved it. There's no two ways about it. Nobody can deny that. He won the local rumble. He deserved that title shot. I don't care what Sammy D says. I don't care what anybody says. He deserves that title shot. You cannot deny that fact. The whole thing about the draw and everything else, it all leads into the story. I'm all for it. But the fact of the matter is, it's like Cody Rhodes and The Rock, as I just said. Cody Rhodes wins the rumble. He gets the title shot. Be Cool wins the rumble. He gets the title shot.
Let Mr. Gold say what he wants to say, and then you can fight back with that.
No matter what he says, it's going to be wrong.
See, this is where you're wrong. This all started at the local rumble, and if anyone is to blame for Be Cool winning this and going on to take on the draw,
it's Emmett.
It is Emmett, the leader of this podcast. He has turned his back on the draw. The one faction he believed in, he's turned his back, and he's went. He kept.
I will say as well before you make this a thing. Emmett is not the leader of this podcast. I just didn't want to use Martin in the statements that I was making. So I use them, right?
Do you know what's a
Don't want
good
this to
compare?
become a thing.
Do you know what's a good comparison to this to explain Karma and I's situation? I am Vince McMahon Senior, or like laid the foundations.
Please don't
He's
go.
Vince McMahon.
Oh
He,
no!
I don't
but
want
he's
that
Vince
title.
McMahon.
I do not want that title. I
Oh
do
no!
not want anything to do with that.
This is pre.
Redact your statements
You
right
can't.
now.
You can't do pre because it's just gonna happen.
Redact that statement straight away.
Okay. I forgot about the awfulness. So
He's he's the he's the Eric Bischoff to Emma Teddy Long.
And I wouldn't mind. I totally forgot about what fucking Vince McMahon did because I was like, that's actually going to be a really nice compliment. And then as soon as he reacted, I was like, oh fuck.
Mr. Cole, finish what you're gonna say, and let's go to Carmo, and let's be done with this.
Say that everything will be right in the world. Maybe not come ScrapperMania, but come the end of the year. Because OTT World Champion will not be cool by the end. That's all I want to say. It will be the Snake Sammy D because the draw, Sammy D will always be on top.
I've nothing against your point that you just make. Sammy Lee could well be champion at the end of the year. But the fact of the matter is, when we walk out of ScrapperMania, when we walk into the after show in Belfast, your new OTT World Champion will be Biku.
Well, we're gonna have to see what happens 1 week from today. ScrapperMania Dublin. Not many tickets left. Get your tickets if you can. Stall tickets remaining. Of course, you can pick yourself up some meet and greets with Danhausen and Nemeth. There's the comedy show on the Thursday, Wolverhampton the Friday, Belfast on the Sunday. It's gonna be.
We need to talk about the tag team partners. We have to do it.
That's right, the tag team partners.
We have to do it. Now, can I say one thing, and I think we'll all agree with this, especially myself, Martin, and Rob. How infuriating is it that Emmett isn't going to this show?
So, thing is, right, what if this is all a ruse? And that Rumble spot was actually fucking planned somehow. Do you know?
Imagine. Could you
Me and
imagine?
me and that other guy.
It comes full circle. You know, you go back to what was it, WrestleRama? Even though it was clearly somebody completely different, but telling Emmett to to sit down or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
You know, this is coming full circle now. This was planned from the fucking get-go. I'm telling you this now. Emmett will be at Scrapper, and he will be with Barry. He's been secretly fucking training.
This is going to be like, do you know that scene in Deadpool 2 where they have like
Whoa. Deadpool 2. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen the new one yet. But do you know the way they like form the team and everything like this? And it's just like, do you know, like Be Cool has been doing like how not to be a professional wrestler there for like 10 years and everything. It's just me and the guy from the Rumble that lifted Be Cool in. So we make our big entrances and stuff, but we get absolutely fucking destroyed. Like in brutal fashion. Like I take a clothesline and somehow break my nose and my jaw. I'm covered in blood after one move. Like other fella, he gets like swung around and his legs dislocate or something. And he's just like, Jesus, lads, that's not how you're supposed to do it. But if we're talking about actual like potential tag team partners, I'm going to throw out my four here because I want to see what you think about one of them now. So like,
3.
if it's three, sorry, but yeah, the Angel Cruz, that's one of them for definite. I have a feeling Justy is number two, and for number three, correct me on his name, but Cameron Grimes, what's he wrestling as now?
Trevor Lee.
Trevor Lee, yeah.
Trevor Lee surprise appearance for that match
I think he's
for a
booked.
big pop. Is he booked?
As in, like, I think he's booked over in the UK. I know he is the day of
Belfast.
Yeah, Belfast. So I don't know about Dublin and whether he'd actually come over or not. But I think that's why he's only been announced for one appearance. Is he just so happened to be there, and he had the free day, and Joe was able to get him.
See, it's hard then to judge who it's actually going to be because, like, I was always saying, like, I said Paddy M from the off, but the lads were like, if Paddy M is going to appear, it's going to be with the lads of the flats for obvious reasons, of course. Do you know what I mean? So that third option now, I'm like literally scratching my head, like, do you know what I mean? I have no idea who could possibly they be then.
Well, my answer's been here the whole fucking time. What three fucking idiots are on a team with Be Cool? It's 4-on-1 handicap.
Yeah. It's going to be Cool with Be Cool with Be Cool and with Be Cool. Always. There'll be 4 different versions of Be Cool.
Sorry, it'd be Cool. And what was from ScrapperMania 1? What was your one's name again? She was teaming with the Gymnasties.
I can't think of her name. I know who you're talking about.
Go back and watch
I can't think of
ScrapperMania
her
1 if you have watched in demand. Gymnasties, whatever her name was again. It'd be her.
Right, let me list off a few people. Justy, Angel Cruz, Captain Sexy,
Good shout. Very good shout.
I had others on my mind and I can't remember. Interesting one if they did it just because of the story. And I don't think they're gonna like cross over. Steve Savage.
Would
That would be pretty cool.
be cool, but I don't think it makes sense with the story.
Announced for a show in the UK the following day, MJF.
Hmm.
The last one, which I think would be very, very cool. No way is it ever going to happen. John Moxley.
Not a chance. No.
If they were to revisit that from last year and bring back
Let me
Moxley.
throw this one out to you guys because obviously, like a few of them were friends of Barry. No Joker Bray.
Yeah, possibly.
It's extremely possible.
The man that tried to warn Barry that he was fucking up too much and he wasn't going to help him.
It's extremely possible. I don't see it. I don't know why, but I don't see it.
But Joe's got that history with the draw too. I actually,
Yeah.
do you know something? If you put a gun to my head, I would actually say Joe Cabret probably is one of the 3. Like,
But see, you've 2 points. You've two different kind of aspects of this because I think you have Joker Ray the person who has that history with Barry and the draw. Joe kind of a bad history with the draw, kind of fairly like 50-50 history with Barry. And then you have Joker Ray the promoter who has the most dominant faction in kind of European wrestling at the moment, who doesn't want them to go anywhere, you know, that kind of way. And if you're kind of picking between Sammy and Barry to have as their champion, you're probably going to go Sam. Like, so I don't know, it's 50-50 on that. Like, but I could see Justy because there's so much history there with Be Cool and Sam. Angel Cruz. When the Gymnasties turned on Barry kind of went to the Angel Cruisers. Captain Sexy, we've seen the streams, we've seen what the two of them are doing together. Outside of that, I don't know. I really and truly don't know.
Well, look, it's going to be interesting to see if anybody comes to Barry's aid. Very unlikely. But, as I said already, ScrapperMania weekend, get your tickets. It's going to be an exciting time. I've mentioned it many times.
As well as that, you could have like a Terry Thatcher. You could have like an Amari. You could have like a Scotty Davis. These are people who have history with the draw as well, like, you know, and not necessarily from people who are, I suppose, friendly with Barry or kind of get on with Barry, but these could be people that want to end the draw. You know, that kind of way. So you have that element too, like.
that's a really good show because it's kind of like that end game kind of moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like you kind of go full arc, like the way that Cody Rhodes match happened at Mania, where you had like all these people the Bloodline had kind of caused issues for, came back for during that match.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a really good shout with Amari there.
But as I said, get over to ScrapperMania, get over to National Stadium, Wolverhampton, Belfast. Check all of that stuff out. I've mentioned it many times, but this Wednesday, coming up Wednesday, we sat down with Sammy D ahead of ScrapperMania. Great interview. Sam did. He went in depth on how he feels the draw is at the moment, why he did what he did to Barry, and not only that, if Sammy D was to lose, well, he's let us know exactly what he plans to do, and you're going to want to hear it. So, check it out Wednesday, 6 p.m. GMT. Lads, any final words? Any final...
Let's go, Barry.
Okay, so we're going to edit that one out. But, thank you all for listening as always. Thank you, Mr. Gold, for coming on.
Always.
Emmett, it's lovely to see your face for once.
Thanks for hosting, Emmett.
Well,
He's not done yet. He's still got to do the outro.
Well,
Don't steal my spot.
I'm like the Billy Gunn here. I have one thing to say.
no, I've been doing better as of late, I've noticed. I've been on more episodes than I had last year. So we're getting better.
You can officially say you've been on more episodes than Galacini. Couldn't say it last year.
I don't know if I can.
I'm not going to go into any more detail, but we might have some kind of interesting stuff coming up.
Yeah,
you might see Emmett's face a lot more. We'll leave it there.
Even I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. So, anyways,
yep.
You can find us on our socials. FiveMarks Pod on X and TikTok. Please go follow our TikTok. FiveMarks Podcast everywhere else. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. If you're listening on the Spotify, hop over to YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Ding dong that bell. It will help us very much in the algorithm and stuff.
Ding dong on that bell. I like that.
Every YouTuber says it. Ding dong that bell. Get notified on when episodes go live. You can check out Mr. Gold on the Weekly Controversies every Monday, 6 p.m. GMT. There won't be one this Monday, just a little heads up. But you will get to hear from us again on Wednesday. I cannot stress this enough. No episode next Saturday because it's ScrapperMania. Next Wednesday, our sit down with Sammy D. And look forward to a sit down with Mark Haskins coming out in a few weeks' time. Carmo, do you want this the glory?
I'll give Emmett if he has any last words that he wants to say.
You can go ding on that bell because we're ding. No, I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take that.
You fucking stealing my line.
Here, I made the line.
Yeah, you did. You
made the line.
I gave you the idea.
He turned it into what it is today.
I gave him the idea, he created the idea, and he created the logo, and he created the name, and he gave Martin me, and he created the outro. That's the biggest insult of all. He keeps saying that, like, oh, yeah, I gave you karma. It's like, you didn't give me any, you didn't give me to anybody.
This podcast.
I actually kept Carmo in a cage for years.
Yeah.
Carmo wasn't out in the culture.
I never saw Carmo walking around the town or nothing until you brought him out one day.
Yeah, if Emmett actually turns his camera around, I'm just sitting in like a small box here in the back of his room, like.
That's why
with the makeshift shank, like.
My Carmo's hair length hasn't changed for a couple of years, so that's probably why.
Exactly why. I haven't had a haircut. Haven't had a shower. Haven't had nothing. But anyway, we've been the FiveMarks Podcast, and for another episode, we are officially ding, go.
Yeah.